Today I want to give you a tour of the Visual Builder in Divi. Let's create a page, add new. And let's click on Use Divi Builder. Now I want to import a layout from the Divi layout library to have an example of what a page should look like. Let's choose a pre-made layout, and you need to have your code, your license key ready if you haven't inputted it in yet in Divi theme options. You need that in order to import one of these layouts. Okay, let's see this one. Okay, I'll import this one. Now, Divi is an amazing tool and I really love using it. So I want to show you a few of the most common things that you'll be using if you decide to start using Divi. Okay. Okay, the layout has been imported. So now we can see a few things happening when we put the mouse, hover the mouse over certain areas of the page. Now, the first thing I'd like you to see are these boxes. This is a blue box, this is a green box, and a dark gray box. These are the main objects that you work with on Divi. This is a section. The blue one is a section. The green one is a row. And the gray ones are the modules, which you will be using different modules like the blog module, the post module, or the gallery module. Here we have a button module, I believe. Let's open it up and see. Yeah, button settings. Okay, and you can see every page is made of several sections and rows. Below here you can see several things. Here's where, right at the bottom right, is where you save your document or publish it. On the left here you have different things you can do. You can see your document in wireframe view, which used to be the view that we used to work with many years ago. Then you can see in different views: tablet view, mobile view, phone view, or desktop view. If you want to check your page for responsiveness, you'll use these little things, and you can see how it looks on the phone. And here there's a lot of information down here. But what you need to know is, this was important, the page settings. Here you can change your page name. You can add a featured image. And I'd like to take advantage of that I have this open to show you these three little tabs up here. Now these are always going to be in your modules. And you're going to use the Design tab most of all for the normal modules. Because that's where most of the formatting work is done. Now let me open up a different module here. This is a text module, and you see I click over the gear to edit it. And you can see the content here. You can link to this or add a different background color. And in the design you can start changing things on your text. If it were heading text, you would edit it here. You can change the colors and add different effects like text shadow, or align this differently. And you can add different things like sizing. You can make these this area, if you don't want it to go over a certain width, you can just change your sizing here. Let's see if we want, right now it's a max width 500, but I could put 300 and it would make it smaller. With the spacing, you change what is padding and margin around the element that you're changing. And as you can see, you can add a border, box shadow, different filters that will change. This is the most useful that I've seen. It's with images when you can change the values here, and some animations and transform. Now, this is the, as I said, the design tab where you will do most of your editing here. But the advanced one is where you add custom CSS and you do a few things like position or scroll effects. You can add classes or IDs to the module that you're working on so that you can style it any way you want. And the most useful thing from this is this little icon here, which means duplicate. And with this, you can just duplicate everything that you have, either a section or the module itself. And it's so much easier to work on the page if you're duplicating things like that. It just makes it so much easier to work with that. In order to add a new section, you would click on one of these buttons. The blue one is a section, so you would add here, or if you want to add a row, I'd probably duplicate it and work on it. Let's see. This is a button module, so you can design your button and add it, the text color, the background. You can change all of these little variables that make your page a little more interesting. Let's see what else we've got. You can make the buttons all caps, or you can add icons to it. I prefer not to add the icons, but if you have the icons, it will do a little animation when you do the hover. These settings are mostly the same in all design tabs. You will see a few specific ones depending on a module. And for example, the button alignment here, you can change that. But mostly you'll have the text one, the spacing, box shadow, the filters. These ones at the bottom are usually the most common and will be repeated in most modules. Now, to talk a little bit more about what's in here in the middle, this is generally when you open the Visual Builder, this is like this, and you have to click on it in order to open up all the options. Now, we saw page settings. This is a revision history where you can go back to things that you have done in your history. And this is portability, which means basically you can import a layout or export this layout. Let's say you made a great landing page and you can export that and add it to another site of yours that you're working on. In order to save this layout, you use this one to the library. If you save it to the library, you will have it available for use later on. And if you want to load anything from the library, you can click on here. Existing pages, we have a few that I've saved before. And it's not showing me the one that we just saved. Pre-made layouts are these. All right. Let's save and publish. Now, it's a cool thing that you can do, save by clicking choosing Command S on your keyboard or Control S in Windows. You can save your page, and sometimes that's useful because many times you're editing one of these modules, and you'll be inside editing things, and you don't want to leave the screen, so you just do Command S, and you're able to save your page. You can see that it's working right here. That's good to save your progress when you're working on your Divi site. And I think that's about it. The one thing that you can't modify using the page builder are the headers and the footers. You have to do that through the global header and global footer if you want to change those. And I'll talk about that in another in another video. I hope this encourages you to use Divi. The only way to learn it is to just take a chance, build a test site. You can do that in your computer with local WP. You install that and you can create your WordPress sites, install Divi, and start testing away, importing these layouts, seeing how they're made. You can see the behind the scenes when you edit the modules and the sections, and you can see how they did the special effects and things like that. And that's really a great way to learn Divi.